Haha! Greetings, everyone. It is I, Cassandra, in my temple, my sweet, soulful, feminist corner of the internet. Oh no, it's windy. Maybe I need to put on this dead cat. You know what? Fuck it. It's not going on right now, so you're just gonna hear some wind every once in a while. It's not too windy today, so it shouldn't be too bad. But what I was saying. Uh, yes. So there is this thing that I experience. But first, I just want to say, I want to talk about being an empath, all right? And I that term is like, whatever, but it's a popular term that a lot of people understand themselves as. If you're really empathetic, if you feel things very easily, if you're very sensitive to other people's emotions and can pick up on a lot of people's cues, their intonation, their facial expressions, and you can really feel and understand how people feel, then the world is a pretty overwhelming place sometimes. And especially if you are on social media for an extended period of time. And for a day or so, maybe like a day and a half, I was just kind of doom scrolling. And my mind got completely fractured. It goes into a whole bunch of different thought streams, and my mind just gets inundated with opinions and memories of people's emotions, and I get overstimulated. I can't really be in busy places, and I kind of have to just isolate and find a really calm place to find who I am again. Because when I have observed a lot of different thoughts and opinions, and basically what social media is, it's like a hub of people's shit. And the shit isn't filtered based on it's not filtered for sensitive people. It's just like bleh. It's just like what actually is the most stimulating, what gets people to react the most. Those are the things that come up on our feed first, right? So social media is all about reactions, right? So if we're constantly reacting to different posts from a bunch of different people, different thoughts and opinions and backgrounds, then we're just exposed to a lot of different stuff. And for me, if I expose myself to this for a long period of time, I will lose myself. Basically, all of these thought streams that I'm exposed to get stuck in my head, and it's hard for me to find my own voice of who I am. And it's something that I've been aware of for a really long time. It it's a I have a weak ego, which has made me extremely spiritual and also has made me extremely afraid of the world and other people. I've never admitted this to anyone, but this is my YouTube channel. It's my space to be vulnerable, and I like being vulnerable, and I like telling people like what my fears are, because I'm human and I'm not trying to be anything more than human. Like, yes, I am a life coach and I have certain degrees and certain understandings, but for other things, like, I'm just human and I go through my own shit. You know what I mean? So that's number one. And there was a podcast I was listening to. Was it a podcast? It might have been an audiobook where someone said people are afraid of three things: death, themselves, their own inner world, and other people. And I'm not afraid of death. I'm not afraid of other people. I'm sorry. I'm not afraid of death. I'm not afraid of my inner world. I'm afraid of other people, because humans are frightening, and there are things that I don't really understand about how people work, especially being on social media, recognizing how different people can think from you. It is almost a constant state of shock, right? To just become aware of the different intentions, the level of selfishness, the level of apathy to other people's pain and suffering, it's like, it's shock. I feel shock. And how I've been processing this shock and understanding and moving forward in life is actually recognizing that contrast is a reality of our world. Rather than like being like, just, oh my God, I can't believe it, I can't believe it, I can't believe it all the time. It's just like, yes, this world has an extreme amount of contrast in humanity and human thought, in experience. And as soon as I'm exposed to a thought stream, I understand it, I feel it, right? And it's icky. It is icky. And it takes focus and centering to find my thought stream again, where I'm aligned. And it's not like I, become those other people. It's not like I get possessed by this. What is that when the TV goes like all staticky? It makes all the channels come in at once, pretty much. And I'm like and then I end up scrolling more to like focus on something else that's not my frazzled, fractured mind, not brain. So in this state of just feeling really chaotic and staticky and unsure of which voice to listen to that's in my head, especially because a lot of the voices, they're not like voices, okay? They're thoughts, they're thought streams, but I call them voices because they say words, Okay, it sounds like I'm schizophrenic. I'm very aware of what is real and what is not. I think that is the most important thing to mention right now. But they can get very negative about myself. And basically, there's just this dimension where every thought I have about myself is telling me that I'm wrong, that I've done something bad, that I'm a bad person, that I'll never recover from it, stuff like that. And it'll feel and sound like the truth. And in order to get myself out of these states, there have been a couple of things that I've done. Number one, I just mentioned it, to be aware of the reality of contrast. Number two is to remind myself that my thought stream never leaves. Like who I truly am, my connection to soul, spirit, myself, never leaves. It's there. It's there among the chaos, and I just have to find it, right? It hasn't left me. I haven't pinched myself off completely from soul, spirit, and love. It's there. My connection is there. I just have to do some work, focus a little bit, meditate, and then I'll find myself back to where I need to be. So that's the other thing. The next thing is recognizing that I'm meant to be in this position. I haven't failed. I haven't let myself down. These things happen for a reason. It's, every gift has a curse. And this is one of those things that I have to get through. And in my figuring out how to get from this feeling state back to center is what it is, the fuel for my YouTube channel. It is the content for my YouTube channel. When I get from one painful state to a whole state, that is my material for what I produce out in the world. And I haven't been giving enough of that because I have this crazy idea that it's not helpful or useful to anyone. It's only useful to me, but I know that that's not true, and I'm taking the steps to really instill in myself that that is not true, because that is what I will think if I'm not paying attention and being focused on what my mind is doing. I'll go, oh, nobody cares. My YouTube channel is boring. Nobody gets anything from it, but that's part of the thoughts that come out of that state that has no faith, that is really negative, that turns on me and who I am. all of that kind of stuff. So I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be working through it. I take full accountability for the feeling state that I'm in. It's nobody's fault. I'm not a victim to it. I just have to do something about it. And this leads me to the next part, which is what you do in this feeling state, in this chaotic feeling state where you really are grasping at straws and you really don't know what you should be doing, or you really have no good sense of yourself. What you do in this state is important. But before I really go further into that, the thing you have to know is that this state is temporary. This is a temporary state. It is not forever. You will get out of it. It's not how I'm supposed to be somewhere else. You will be somewhere else. You will be. And depending on what choices you make in this state will determine where you go. Okay? So sometimes people get stuck in this state and they start looping because their actions reinforce their mental state. And this is why it's so important to have standards for yourself, that no matter how terrible you think you are, no matter what feeling state you're in, you have to make a choice that reflects the standards you want for yourself. For example, yesterday, I really, really didn't want to go to the gym. I was having a full-on tantrum. My chest was tightening up. I didn't want to go. Bisha and I were in the car. We were both having tantrums. We were laughing about it. We really didn't want to go. We were just kind of silent in the car, Tam, just working through our shit of yes, we're going to the gym. We're doing leg day today. We went pretty hard on push the day before yesterday. And we were just oh, can I just do one? But we went, and we knew that by going, we're taking those steps to becoming the kind of people we want to be. And it reinforces who we are. It reinforces who we really are, right? It doesn't reflect the temporary state. It reflects the state we're going to be in after. So it's kind of pulling the future in by making choices in the present. So if you can remember to hold your standards for yourself, even when you don't feel good about yourself, even when you feel like you don't deserve it, this is the most important time. It is the most important time when you're not feeling good and you just want to stay in and not do what you're meant to be doing or what would make you feel better. This is where the masculine side of things is really, really helpful and important. This is where David Goggins comes in, right? Even though I don't fully agree with the statement that you shouldn't take action based on your feelings, because I think it is important to take actions based on how you feel, especially when it comes to establishing your boundaries and taking care of yourself, knowing your limits, and refilling your cup when it's empty. I think it's really important to take action from a feeling state for those reasons. However, if you're in a feeling state, sorry about that, my phone overheated. I'm on my phone right now, so I don't have my normal camera, even though that one gets overheated pretty easily too. I know my nails look terrible. They look really bad. So I'm just saying that I'm aware of it. I'm not unaware of it. They were really, really chipped. And I knew that my nails were going to be in this video. And I was like, okay, let me just paint over the chipped part, just so that it looks okay if I'm a little further away. But I think I've been kind of too close to the camera this whole time. So you probably can see how bad they look. I didn't have any nail polish remover, you guys. So we just have to make it work sometimes. Anyway, where was I? I was saying when it's important to take action based on your feelings and when it's important not to take action on your feelings. It's important not to take action on your feelings when you don't feel good about who you are. When we don't feel good about who we are, when we're thinking all of these thoughts that really feel true, and that's key, they feel true, but they're not true, okay? And you have to take action based on a reality that may not be your perceptual reality of yourself in that moment. As if you have the standards of the person you want to be. Okay, that was like a really complicated way of saying when you feel bad about yourself. Okay, it's getting windy again. When you feel really bad about yourself, it is important to recognize that things feel true, but they're not. As true as they might feel, as staticky as your mind might feel or be, you have a standard to uphold. You have a standard to uphold. And even if you can't meet that perfect standard, you have to meet it as best as you possibly can. You have to do something. You have to do a little bit of what a person who loves themselves would do. Because what happens when we take action based on feeling bad about ourselves is that it loops. It loops us into that feeling. If you feel bad about yourself and you take action based on that feeling, okay, I feel really shitty about myself, so I'm just gonna order food that I know is not gonna make me feel great about myself, but whatever, fuck it, I deserve it because I feel so shitty. And I'm gonna go scroll because I don't want to deal with my life right now, and I'm just gonna doom scroll until like I go to sleep. I know I should go to sleep instead of being online, but I'm gonna stay awake and just do it anyway because I don't care. Like, that is the worst thing you could possibly do. It takes interrupting the cycle and being like, I don't like, I'm telling you, when I was going to the gym yesterday, full on tantrum. I wasn't expressing the tantrum, but like the amount of, I don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this. But my mindset is so aligned with me becoming the person that I've always wanted to be. Both of us, Busha and I, both know that the people we want to be is somebody who goes to the gym, somebody who works out, somebody who takes care of their bodies, right? Because we know that if we don't do this, our mental health declines. People who go to the gym, who work out constantly, do it for their mental health because it makes them feel good, right? Even though momentarily it makes us feel awful and like we don't want to go and we don't want to do it. But it is so important to do those things that are going to make you feel okay. Oh, by the way, I did see a spider on this chair, but I think it went away. It's all good. I'm not too afraid of spiders. If it were a silverfish, we would have gotten up by now, for sure. So take care of yourself in this state. You deserve it. Even though you might not feel good about yourself, even though there's so many thoughts saying that you're a bad person and you're terrible and you do all blah, 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 whatever your manifestation of like a bad feeling state is in your mind and body and heart, you still gotta uphold the standards for actions. And that is something that is so liberating when you find out, is that like, you can take action no matter what you feel. You can do whatever no matter what. And you can completely disregard that feeling if you wanted to. It's all about making choices. At the end of the day, this is what I realized, and it was like kind of a little jarring. But basically, when it comes to living life and living a spiritual life or living a growth mindset life, however you want to put it. I'm a soulful spiritual person, so I like to say spiritual, whatever. What it comes down to is making little choices every single day that compile into success. Success is, you know, it's the little choices you make every day that make the difference over time. You don't have to do a 180. You just have to do a 1 degree every single day consistently. You just have to do a little something every single day, and you will change your life. You will start to see the benefits eventually. That is such a Saturn Capricorn concept, is that you don't see it at first, but eventually your little choices, your hard work over time will bless you back. It will bless you back. And it's what we exchange for the immediate satisfaction. It is the long-term true satisfaction, the lasting satisfaction. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I'm so happy I made this, because guess who didn't want to make a video? Guess who was like, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to do shit? Me. And then I fucking did it. Why did that come out like that? I don't know. Shit just comes out like that sometimes. I fucking did it. And now we're here. And hopefully you have gotten some value from my own process. Because it's helped me, because I've been feeling this way. I've been feeling this way for the last couple of days. Like, fuck. My mind's scattered. I'm scattered. I have ADHD. I have ADHD brain. And I don't know what to do about it. It just feels like sometimes doom. It just feels like, how am I ever going to get out of this? How am I ever going to... It's just like, how? I just feel lost in the sauce. When I tell you I get lost in the sauce, I get lost in the sauce. But I stick to what makes me feel grounded, which is, I am here. This is temporary. I take actions based on the standards of self-love that I have set for myself before this feeling state, not during this feeling state. I do not reinforce this feeling state with actions that will make me feel worse. I get out of this feeling state by taking actions that make me feel better. Okay? Go eat some fruit. All right. See you in the next video. Bye.